Hello. Oh my goodness. I don't even know what to say.
Hello.
Hello. We're just going. We're literally live right now.
Are we live?
Right.
Have we told them? Oh,
do not swear. Etc. Wow. It's what can you do about these things, you know?
I don't know. But is it working now then?
Well, no, Brad, stop telling him to refresh. It's a different link.
I'm going to put the link in. Oh, some people have found us already, which is good. So I'll put the link in Facey.
And we'll try again, shall we? Should we start again from the top?
If you'd like. It does say live in the corner. As long as it says live.
Yeah, we're live.
Are we live?
We're live.
We're live.
This is live now. Like on the YouTubes. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
On the interwebs. And we have Michael Briggs. It seems fine now, lads.
If anyone's in the... Oh, okay. Right. This is carnage.
It's fine, no Dragon. James, where were we with you? A falafeling with stones. Show the falafel stone. There's a lot of people missed the chat.
I'm terribly sorry, people at home who didn't get to see the falafel. Look, falafel stone. Oh, it passed from a. I don't know whether is that a kidney stone, I presume. Look at that. It's like it must make tiny stones. That's falafel stone. Like I say,
what orifice did that come out of, James?
Pardon?
What orifice did that come out of?
No, it went into an orifice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I didn't poop a falafel stone. Yes, that was. I didn't just. Oh, look at that! Wow, just out me love there.
The default thumbnail for the new show is me face palming. It's quite nice.
Sweet. Awesome.
Perfect.
Awesome. So so that's it. That's me. Oh, I'm drinking. I've got a single malt and I've got a Carlsberg on the side. That's me. I'm a classy dude.
Chaser.
Yeah.
You appeal to both classes.
So Falafelgate to one side. Where's Rick gone? Falafelgate to one side.
Mm-hmm.
What did you actually have for lunch?
Oh, what did I have for lunch? That's a good question. Oh, I had a sandwich. I had a ham sandwich with gherkins, like split pickle and mustard and red onion in a wholemeal bowl, and it was nice. And John seems so exasperated by my sandwich because we'll be guessing what you had for your lunch later on.
Your sandwich sounds delicious. Pickles, mustard, loving it. Love a mustard, love a pickle. Shane didn't have an egg. You could have had a salad.
Sorry, I didn't catch any of that. Okay, and the last thing is a juice line. If I had a juice line, what would I call it? I would call it
Handlebar.
A, B, C, D, E liquid or something.
All right, throw it over.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we've got Brad. In case he goes anywhere. Brad, how's your week been? What did you have for your lunch? What are you drinking? What are you vaping? And the same question: if you had a juice line, what would you call it?
Fantabulous. I've had an awesome week. My daughter did roll over onto her stomach and then roll over onto her back. So next step, she's going to be crawling, by which stage I'm fucked. I am drinking a gin and tonic in the biggest goblet I could find. Look, even when I hold it next to my head, it's still fucking enormous.
Yeah, but it's only got a quarter full though.
Yeah, because I've already hit that.
Yeah.
I'll go back for a top up shortly. Then
Just get a pint glass, mate. You might as well.
Oh, that's bigger than a wine glass. I think this is half a litre.
About a pint.
Yeah, a pint. There we go. I am vaping on Old Faithful. I am also vaping on... Oh, and in Old Faithful, which I use every week, I am using Cactus Jack from our dear friend... Fuck, yes. See, I've had enough gin. I can't read. Vaping that from our dear friend who's missing from the stream right now. I'm also vaping on this little USB-looking device, which I will be talking about and demonstrating later. Why I think this is the latest Squonker.
Ooh, all 128 gigabit.
All 128 gigabits. And if I launched a juice line, I would call it African Thunderstorm.
Oh.
It had to have some kind of African theme to it, surely.
Mm.
I'm going to turn this around and throw it at Rick, darling.
Hello, baby.
How's your week been? How long? No, can't answer.
Where was that going? How long is what? How long is what, Brad? What are you going to
Get
ask?
your mind out of the gutter. I will save that question for next week. How's your week been? What you vaping on? And if you launched a juice line, what would you call it?
My week's been good. Same as ever. Bit warm, you know. Bit of this, bit of that. All good. Yeah, so nothing fancy's happened. What happened at the weekend? What did we do? Not a lot. Kids' nephew's birthday party. Didn't go crazy drinking or anything this weekend, so I'm quite refreshed today. Right. What am I vaping on? I'm just filling one of them up, actually. I am vaping on my Dacus abstract mod with a Derringer on top and a blackcurrant juice in there. I'm vaping on a Kennedy Roundhouse with still same. I think I've got pretty much the same setups as last week with the Drop Dead on top. That's great. Loving it. Loving that Drop Dead.
Yeah.
In that, I am vaping on John's new juice. Where is it? On Point. And that one is the Honey and Cinnamon Danish. And it's very, very nice indeed. Basium, Goon, Voodoo Brew. Still liking that a lot. And got a new one this week. I've got the SX Mini SL class and a saver on top with that one in there.
A classy setup.
It's really quite a nice mod. I do like it. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's
not bad at either. It's all right. That.
Return to form for them after their spinner debacles.
Yes. Yeah, they did a few weird ones there. Back on it now, though. And if I could launch a juice line, it's a tough one, that, isn't it?
MMJ.
Could be Mod Maker Juice. Could just be.
I thought MM stood for Mary Magdalene.
No, it stands for Mod Maker.
What does it stand for in M&M's? What does it stand for in that? That's not modern maker. What about juice maker? Juice maker juice?
Oh.
Juicemaker.co.uk. There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
Bobby Dazzler.
Must be taken, surely.
Probably is, I'd imagine. I'm not very creative like that. But Rick's, could just go Love Juice or something like that. Be quite good.
There should be a mod maker juice because you're a good mixer. You've got some nice mixers, and Bryn's got some nice mixers.
Yeah, we could do that down the line possibly. But John isn't here. Oh dear. Okay.
We could have a little nap.
Let's do it for him.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what he had for lunch right now.
Go on then. You pretend you're John. John, how's your week been? What did you have for lunch? What are you vaping on? And what juice line? What would your juice line be called?
Right. Okay, so
Posher. You need to be posher.
I can't do it. I can't do his voice. It's not an actual accent, is it? It's not a place. Okay, so I'll tell you what he had for lunch. I don't know about all the rest, but I know what he had for lunch. He got a bag of quavers. He took all the main quavers out. And then what he did is, you know, where you just get the packet and you just pour the last bit in? He did that. And I think what he did is he put some soy sauce. He put the soy sauce bottle back in the cupboard. But, you know, when you just get a little bit on your finger, because they're leaky, aren't they, those soy sauce bottles?
Yeah, the Kevin Man ones are.
Yeah, and I think he just licked that.
That's a substantial lunch there.
Yeah, I don't think he'll have any tea.
Oh, and a tangerine.
2 tangerines.
And a tangerine. Oh, 2 tangerines.
2 tangerines. Shall I tell?
You know, sometimes he always takes 2 tangerines to work, but sometimes he just peels them and then puts them all in the bin. He really. He's got too many calories. Too many calories.
He just wears the peel like a gum shield.
Oh, everybody's got to do that sometime in their life.
Can't really do that with tangerine. You need to do that with an orange, don't you?
Well, apparently it was a Victorian contraceptive.
Was it?
Mm-hmm. There
How
you
did
go.
that work then?
Well, let's not get too into it on a family show. But yeah, so I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what I had for lunch. I had Uncle Ben's spicy Mexican rice.
Oh, back to the old school.
Back to form, and a packet of prawn cocktail walkers. Grab bag.
Nice. Can't beat them. Prawn cocktail walkers.
Yeah, I don't mind them. I
love them. I think that flavour's banned in America. Prawn cocktail.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's got some bad shit in it.
Well, I wouldn't do what that would never. That would never stop me. Drinking. I've got a bit of Chardonnay.
Oh,
Wasn't that about? Wasn't that about? Yeah. My wife's a teacher, and so she got. It's the end of the school year, so she gets lots of free wine and things like that given to her by.
I don't know why these parents, they try not to give the teachers wine, but that's all the teachers want. Don't give them chocolates and things like that. Just give them wine. That's all they want.
So we've got a lot of extra wine. So I thought, oh, why not? I've got a busy day tomorrow as well, so yeah, I thought wine tonight. I just saw Matt Fox in chat calling me a tart for drinking wine. It's harsh. Okay, so that's that. Week's been crazy. Carpet fitters are coming tomorrow, and I was too tight to include them removing the old carpet as part of the bill. So I've been taking everything out of every room, taking the carpets up and all that sort of stuff this week. So it's been mad. Vaping on a new RTA from Geek Vape. This is the Creed. I might talk about this later if we've got more time. It's got special air holes in the chimney, so they come up here and they go up the coil. But there's also some ones in the chimney. My limited science knowledge suggests that they could be completely irrelevant, and testing has kind of confirmed that. But it's a nice vape, just as is, but it's a bit weird with the weird additional bits. Also vaping on this is the latest Squonker from Wismec. This is a 100 watt 21700 Squonker. It's the Luxotic MF.
It's quite a good size, that.
Yeah, I saw the pic that you posted, Rich, and I thought, where is the squonk hole in that? It's directly the opposite to the screen.
The lefties are gonna fucking love that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it is a lefty, isn't it?
Lefty. I tell you, speaking of lefties, I've also got the Rage, and that's a lefty. But yeah, so this, and you'll like this, Rick. This came with, and I've never had this in a spares pack before. This came with another board.
Did it?
Yeah. So, is
it a rubbish board that's going to break?
That's the first thing I thought. No. So what you can do with this mod is the USP or the unique thing about this. Oh, it's a huge Squonk bottle, by the way.
Looks like a Dinky Plus 10.
Oh no! Check this out. This is your standard bottle, Rick.
Whoa, that's quite big, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what I haven't measured it yet, and there's not much details online.
That's not compliant.
2 mil. It's 2 mil. Got a big old plug in there.
Right. But it has a party piece. This mod. It has a party piece. So you can take this bottle out, and you can put another battery here.
Oh.
And it turns it into a dual parallel regulated mod. And then there's another board. This is all. I've only had this a little bit. Any of this information could be factually inaccurate. You put another battery in here, and it becomes a dual parallel regulated mod, or a dual parallel unregulated mod with the other board. So
what does the other board do then?
So there's 4 screws at the top and 2 screws at the bottom. You take those off, and the board literally there's another screw on the board, and then it literally slides out, and you can push the other one in.
Wow!
And
cool, man.
and it becomes a straight unregulated mod, but with the safety features, you know, low voltage protection.
It's like a switch fit in there, then, basically.
Yes, that is my understanding. Do they call it a lazy box or something like that in America? There's a term for it, isn't there? Easy box or something like that.
I don't know.
So it's a 100-watt regulated squonker or easy box, apparently.
Fantastic.
Pretty different. It's good.
Very, very different.
They do come out with it, don't they? Wismec. They do push the envelope a bit.
Yeah, I don't think it's a great looking mod. It's got some very crude aesthetics to it, and another aspect of obviously when you change that is you plug this up with a little bit of metal, and that whole stuff. You know, this is quite a crude door.
I can't see why anyone would want to change that from how it is, to be honest. But
yeah, I can't even bring myself to do it for the video. So, but yeah, I don't know. So that's the thing. I'll report back on that when I know more. But I have got that on me. Got a little Damascus-y thing going on. It looked quite good in a picture. In real life, it looks quite tacky. And then, as I just said, I have the Rage with the drop dead on top. Boys, is it 180 watt Squonker, something like that, with its own bottle? And like I say,
nice made thing, that isn't it? Yeah,
it's very, very, very heavy, very sturdy. And very left-handed. Look at that. That's in the left hand. Finger fire. Thumb rests here. You can swonk it there. Very, very left-handed. When you turn it to the right, it all gets a bit. Suddenly, your thumb in it. It's very left-handed. Apparently, he is left-handed, so I don't know if that played a part in the design. But that's Boy's Squonker from Desire. The Rage. It's a very solid mod. Only had it a little bit, but it's all right. It's doing a job. So that's what I've got. We'll have to just fly past John and jump straight in.
Straight into news, and it's you on the news, actually, isn't it?
All right. Let's have a look at the notes. Okay. Yes, the goat. Okay, so there should be a pick, Rick.
Oh dear, I'm unprepared.
I can probably pull it up if you like.
Yeah, you better.
All right, okay, no worries. So a little bit of backstory here. Apparently, for a long time, Nick Green and Boy OC, the maker of the Rage, and obviously they collaborated for the Recoil as well. They have been working on a sub-tank, and they released this first teaser today, on Tuesday, I think, a teaser of the packaging. So what this apparently is going to be is a sub-tank that uses anarchist wire and anarchist pre-made coils in the sub-tank. So you've very, very fancy alien-y, Clapton-y coils in the sub-tank. So this is the GOAT. Greatest of all time, I think. That's the popular saying, isn't it?
Yes.
So this is their first tease. I think it's an interesting idea, but I mean, I don't know if it's. Don't know. I mean, let's wait and see. But I don't know if it's slightly 6 months too late. Because a lot of these sub tanks are using fancy coils now, aren't they?
Oh, they all do, don't they, now? But it just doesn't appeal to me. I would want a rebuildable deck on it.
Yeah. Oh no, they have said there is definitely a possibility of that as well.
Oh yeah, that's
all part of the plan as well.
Yeah.
But we are gonna keep an eye on that one. That is the GOAT sub tank coming soon, apparently, from Ownboy and Green. Who's next on the list?
James.
Well, John. Previously, John wants to come
Your
to
previous news.
Is it working?
Yes, you're fine, John.
Okay. It was nearly a diva. I was just going to go fucking mental.
Do you want to, as well as doing the news thing, do you just want to tell us not how this last hour's been, but how your week's been?
It's been a good week. Yeah, I'll do the whole thing. Yeah, okay. The week's been a good week. So it's getting ready for Vape Fest at Just Had Nick. So it's a bit crazy because you're trying to second guess what everybody wants and stuff like that. Boom. That's been good. Lunch. I had a sausage. I had a very posh sausage roll from Marks and Spencer's, and a Scotch egg as well. It's a bit of a fat bastard. And an orange.
We've already established what you've had for lunch.
Okay. I had a curly whirly and
Just the remnants of a packet of Quavers, and just one lick of soy sauce.
Yeah, that is what I had. You guessed it. And I'm vaping.
Tangerines.
Oh yeah, obviously. And I am vaping on one silver. Fucking hell, I'm so sweaty. My elbows are skidding on the thing on the desk. A silver saver with that one in it, but it's the fully lungy one. One of them silver saver with that, and a black saver with 45 milligram cactus punch in it. And if I had an e-liquid, what would I call it? I very much liked James's answer. I haven't heard, and the others I'll save them as a treat. I think I'd just keep it simple. Probably just call it Jizz, and then just have like Jizz strawberry, Jizz raspberry, Jizz custard, Jizz spearmint, Jizz and bubblegum. Yeah, basically Jizz. That's what I'd go with. Right, news. Unjizzy news. Okay, sorry. Oh, fuck me in the arse. I definitely did not open the blank script on the drive. I did not do that. I did not.
Could be worse. You could have put all your notes in it like I did.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. People wouldn't even believe their scripts. Jesus. You
just can't script this.
Can't, no. It's just this magic in it. Right. I am on the right script now, 141 script. And we've got all the old shows, so we could sell them as a book as well, James. Not a problem. Right. We have got JUUL news. That's what I'm going to
JUUL news.
There's a lot of JUUL news today. JUUL news. And what have we got? This is from theverge.com. JUUL is being investigated by Massachusetts. This is also as a headline. JUUL is being investigated by Massachusetts for hooking kids on vaping. I quite like the title. Way too much of their product. Sorry.
It's well written as well.
Yeah, it's the subheadline. Way too much of their product is ending up in the hands of young people and ending up in schools. I'll probably just give you a paragraph. The Massachusetts Attorney General is investigating e-cigarette company JUUL Labs in a statewide push to end youth vaping and nicotine addiction. JUUL Labs controls more than 2/3 of the e-cig market. That isn't true, guys. And way too much of their product is ending up in the hands of young people and ending up in schools. Massachusetts Attorney General Maura Healey, I was a bit close, isn't it? Said in a press conference today. Sorry. Why did I find that funny? That's really bad. That is a bad name. Anyway, Maura Healey. Yeah, it's just JUUL news. I think the thing is kind of what we said coming true. JUUL is becoming a victim of their own success because they're becoming a byword for vaping. They're not JUUL, they're vaping, really. 2/3 is a mass over exaggeration of market saturation. That's not true. They've definitely got really huge amount of buyers, but it's not 2/3 of the vaping market.
I tell you what I find with every negative article about the JUUL, you could replace the word JUUL with KFC.
Yeah.
Too much KFC is falling into the hands of kids.
Yeah, let's go for it. I'm going to try for it in the paragraph. The Massachusetts Attorney General is investigating chicken company KFC in a statewide push to end youth chicken eating and chicken addiction. KFC controls more than 2/3 of the Southern Fried Chicken market. and way too much of their products is ending up in the hands of young people and ending up in schools.
Yet for some reason, no one cares.
It's all ridiculous, isn't it? They're not promoting it. They're not trying to get kids into it.
They're definitely not. I
Can't blame them for having a product that's available and out.
certainly not. But I think I cannot believe this is anything except big tobacco. I really can't feeding this through.
Yeah, it's all spin, isn't it? Rubbish. Yeah.
I think it's very much being aimed at that. Kids don't give a shit. I mean, and the other thing is, where's the fucking other end of? Well, at least they're not smoking.
Well, it's so much less harmful than
Yeah, we're not promoting children vaping.
certain chicken outlets.
What the fuck would you pick when it came to between vaping and smoking? It's ridiculous.
I think the truth is, kids would eat fast food regardless to whether it was KFC or any other southern fried kernel-based chicken product.
But isn't it the thing?
Why is
I tell you what,
parenting not understand anymore? Why is parenting not
no,
why is it not up for grabs anymore? Why
The
is
thing is, a kid gets to a certain age and you let them do most of these things on their own. They're out and about on their own, and they.
But I've got to put really quite a good analogy, I think, here. If you remember the president before last, Mr. Bush was a big. Oh, he really thought that the great thing was. I've lost the fucking word. The silver ring thing. No sex before marriage. That was a great idea. No sex. That was the way forward. That was definitely going to work. And what happened was teenage pregnancy spiked. rather than educating people about safe sex, just went for no knobbing in general, and it all blew up in his face.
But nowadays, John, sex isn't about knobbing, is it?
Well, I don't know. Did JUUL do that as well? Have JUUL got 2/3 of the market on knobbing as well?
No, I'm just saying that you say sex, you put sex and knobbing in the same sentence, but in this multi-sexual.
Knobbing and non-knobbing. Whatever.
You could be having sex without knobbing these days, can't you?
As long as it's safe. But I think this is the issue, isn't it? This is about education. Again, the failure. Britain, in the UK, there was a big thing. Rather than celibacy, we went for education, and our pregnancy rates went down. The teenage pregnancy rates went down, and the Americans went up. So anyway, it's fucking bollocks. They're not smoking. I can't be on the side of that. If you want me to get on one side or the other, I don't think kids should vape, but should they smoke or vape? It's a fucking ridiculous question.
I'm more worried about the chicken.
Yeah, totally.
I like KFC again, to be fair.
Yeah, in moderation, it's fantastic.
Talking about JUUL, James.
Yes, talking about KFC. KFC announced this week that they are to be reducing the spices in their breading from 5%.
I think we're going to have to lose the analogy.
Yeah, and we're going to get sued.
Okay then.
The Colonel, he is a litigious little motherfucker.
He's been a bit hard up lately, though. He had a bit of trouble with his chicken the other month, didn't he?
Could get it. DHL fucked it up, wasn't it?
Yeah, they got a new courier. Yeah.
Okay, so this week, JUUL, and this is partly to do with the thing of the children, I think. Anyway, JUUL released this week that they are going to be reducing their nicotine as an option, because at the minute in America, all you can buy is 5%, 50 milligram.
So they're going to cut it to 25 and sell twice as many pods.
They are going to cut it down to 3 milligram, 30%. But this
30 milligram.
30 milligram.
Pardon?
30 milligram.
30 milligram, absolutely. As an option, in two of the juices, the mint and the tobacco, I think it is. I can't remember now. Which seems like it's giving people options. But you don't necessarily have to have 5 milligram all the time. Giving people options. But this got a bit of backlash on Twitter. Notably, Dr. Stephen H. Kellner, PhD, who is apparently, this is I'm quoting from Morsley here. This is the POTV article. A distinguished professor in spirituality and healing. He had a bit to say about it. And he said, he tweeted, this was, let's say this was on Twitter, JUUL announced 3% e-cig pod down from 5%, a step in the right direction, but 3% nicotine is equivalent to 30 milligrams per nicotine per pod, equivalent nicotine of 3 packs of cigarettes. Still
fucking not. I thought it was going to be a decent thing. Nah, sorry, nah. It's nowhere near 3 packs of cigarettes. You massive.
You jumped right in the middle of me reading me.
Sorry, mate. Sorry.
So still way too much for kids. 0%, please. So basically, Dr. Stephen H. Kelder would like zero nicotine, especially aimed at kids, to be brought out by JUUL. I thought it was crazy. And it kind of and it leads on from what you were just saying there. Do we need this sort of bad publicity for vaping? Do we need people trying to step in and say, look, 3 milligrams?
It's just ridiculous. It's just all being ridiculous.
They'd pick on something else, though, wouldn't they? If they did,
it's one extreme or the other. But saying zero, what's the zero for kids? I mean,
well, the kids will just buy a packet of cigarettes, then, won't they? For God's sake!
But not only that, don't aim fuck all at children. If they pick it up, I mean, they do anyway.
Yeah, let's lead on to my one, shall I? Because it's also JUUL news.
I thought it led nicely onto yours there, Rick.
It's relevant too. Yeah, it's just this. It's American that blames prosecuting. What would you call it? The culture. The
blame culture.
Yeah, in the States at the moment, there's there's 3 lawsuits against JUUL Labs from people who are saying that it's too addictive. And they've done studies on it, and this is what they're actually getting at. They're saying they've got some key ingredient that's more addictive, and they're talking about nic salts.
They're talking about the acid, aren't they?
No, they're saying about the nic salts in the article.
But that's what it is. All nicotine's are salts. They don't really mean that. They're just spastic. Sorry, I just used a really bad word.
What they're saying is they've done the research, and they studied the flavors and compared them to other vaping flavors, and because it's got nic salts, it's got more nicotine and less harsh free base, it says, than the other brands. So these 3 people have got lawsuits against them because of this secret ingredient that is nicotine salts.
Nicotine isn't particularly addictive in of itself, though, is it?
Not crazily, no. It's not as addictive as it is with all the other chemicals in a cigarette.
Dr. Farsilianos always says it's the other 540 chemicals in cigarettes that make it addictive.
Yeah, there's things that enhance the addictive qualities of nicotine in cigarettes and stuff, isn't there? But yeah, it's just funny. Hello. Yeah. Sorry, that's Tildy just come on. Yeah, they just seem to be having a dig at nic salts because they're not as harsh.
I just want to, because we've done this about 5 times on the show, right? Just to get this, just to say it again. All nicotine chemically is a salt. All of it.
But we know that nic salts, you can buy nic salts and you can buy nicotine in PG, and nic salts aren't as harsh as nicotine in PG.
So the addition is in nic salts is benzoic acid. But benzoic acid, like PG and BG, is in lots of other things as well. And what that does is make it speeds up the absorption rate on inhalation of the nicotine in nic salts. That's what it does, and
it acts much the same as caffeine does. Then
No, it's a catalyst. Benzoic acid is a catalyst. It just, all it does is it the mucous membrane, which is where you are absorbing the nicotine from. Vaping, freebase, which we normally vape all the time, is quite inefficient. Nic salts, the addition of benzoic acid, the nicotine itself is very, it feels very light when you inhale it, but it's actually caused by a delay in the absorption rate. It's not because it's easier to, if without the benzoic acid or without a catalyst, you wouldn't get anything from it. You just inhale it and blow it out. It wouldn't do anything. What the benzoic acid does is speed up the reaction in your mucous membrane.
They've got a case then, haven't they?
No, they haven't, because benzoic acid's in loads of stuff. It's not, and it's definitely not addictive. It's total bullshit. It's in.
If those two in combination create this more addictive effect.
No, they don't. That's not what they're no more addictive than freebase. That wouldn't make any difference. That's bollocks. If you had, it's hard to kind of explain it. If I gave you a nicotine patch that didn't work and a nicotine patch that did work, they both got nicotine in them, but you have to have strawberry jam on your arm to get the one that doesn't work to work. Does that make the strawberry jam and make it more addictive? No, it just makes it work. It's not. Benzoic acid is definitely not addictive. The reaction between it is not addictive. It's just another bullshit thing that somebody's worked out that there's an addition. Benzoic acid is in fungal hand cream. It's in lots of different stuff. It's certainly not addictive. It's just bollocks.
So now we've completely slated it. Let's go on to Brad, shall we? He likes it.
He hasn't slated it. Slated people who've picked on it, actually.
This little segment was actually meant to be a new vape stuff, but considering we're talking about this twat-ass device, which I shelled out 30 of my own shekels for. Actually, speaking of which, what the fuck is a shekel? Like, I know it's like 37p or something stupid, but who the fuck thought that would be a good number? Anyway.
It's just Monty Python, wasn't it?
Yeah. This little fucking thing I've now had for 2 weeks, and John has been harping on, sorry for that use of language, John, but that it is old, that this little pod is old tech and it's rubbish. And to be perfectly honest, John, mate, you're dead fucking right.
Fucking old shit.
Fuck me. I've never had anything that wicks so fucking slowly, that wicks so fucking poorly, that 3 or 4 drags, and it's not that it's a dry hit, because you struggle to get a dry hit from it, but you are then struggling to get a decent hit from it. And my justification for referring to this as a squonker is, in order to get it to fucking work, you have to squeeze it.
Oh, wow.
And I literally have to squeeze it to get it to wick properly. Then I get a decent fucking hit out of it. The positives, which are few, and it's more about features from the device, which I think other pod manufacturers will benefit from. Obviously, the shaky strobe light is a little bit kitsch, but it twisted my nipples, so I enjoyed it. But the little tap, and it tells you what the battery life is by a colored light LED light thing. I'll do it again so you can see. I quite enjoyed that feature. Other than that, it's a piece of dog shit. And as a result, here is my bin. Here is my JUUL. Here are some pods. Here are some more pods. Here are all the fucking plasticky doodads. And over here is the stupid fucking USB thing. And in the book. Fuck it. Don't waste
You do,
money.
I will just to reiterate something with the people who are watching. You do actually use a refillable. What something? I'm not going to call it a closed system because it's not. But what's the one you normally use anyway?
The one I normally use, which is in my work bag over there, is the Nicotine, which is a refillable, normal fucking cotton wicks, a coil. It has its issues too, but
it's 2 years. It's evolutionary wise, it's 2 years further on.
Yeah, it works. I don't fucking squeeze it. The battery lasts long enough that it gets me through the day because that piece of dog shit doesn't. The tank is large enough that it gets me through a day and a half because the Nicotine has a 2 ml tank, whereas the JUULy has a 0.7 ml. Who the fuck sat in a corporate meeting room and decided, oh yeah, 0.7, that's a great fucking idea?
I mean, they can sell more juice. They're saving 1.3 millilitres of juice for every pod.
We had a pre-show chat about various bits in the show, and I was being genuine when I said, why is the hobbyist side of vaping even giving a monkeys about this?
It's that thing, isn't it?
There's no way anyone in the chat, anyone in this hangout, doesn't have a better vape than that.
Absolutely. But they're still picking up, though. People are still picking up stuff because they think they've seen people they respect or people their opinion that they value posting them, and it becomes a thing. I don't think she'd mind, so I'm going to say this because last year when Ruby was on the show, she'd just done a pod to pod kind of review thing, and which one was the best.
A huge advocate of the JUULy.
Which one was the system, and it was in the pre-show, and I said I wouldn't drag it into the show, but I just wanted to say something to her before the show started, and I said, Ruby, you made a video talking about regulation, and when regulation comes in, we're going to end up vaping shit like this, and you had some sort of starter kit, and you were vaping on it, and you were kind of saying, oh, if regulation comes in, this is going to suck. And I said, you said this is going to suck, and there you are with a fucking JUULy saying it's brilliant. I mean, they don't have to put the regulation in because you're already promoting this shit 2-year-old technology with a fucking.
She's genuine though. She uses it all the time. She really likes it.
At the time, she said, "Oh, I absolutely, totally see where you're coming from," and blah blah blah. But she does use it. We've been out with her for drinks, and she's been using the JUULy all the time.
At 50 milligram, I could understand using it as an in-between vape, not as
even you could easily. I could easily lung hit 50 milligram in a JUULy pod and have done, and it's such an underpowered silica wick crappy thing that it's nothing. If you did that on any mod, I use 45 milligram in this saber with a mouth to lung. If I change that to the direct to lung, even me, and I can lung hit 24. I couldn't lung hit. I'd struggle to lung hit this at 45. It's not. It's ridiculous to even compare it. It's a quarter of the.
Because it's not the same thing. It's not the same thing. Hobbyist vapers love anything new. They also are willing to try anything new.
Yeah.
A JUULy, it's got a cool look to it for starters. I like the look of it. I think it looks good. It's got the little gadgety things like Brad was just saying, tap. It's got shaky. Cool little. I mean, I think they're probably the same feature, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But Nick Salt's quite fashionable. Granted, we can't get the 50 in here, but if you try, people are bringing the 50s in. You can get them in eBay. You can get them all over the shop. A closed pod system or just something tiny like that. It's ideal for stealth vaping, carry in your pocket, for a spare, for what. There's loads of reasons.
No issue with tiny like that. My issue becomes as soon as you get the pod, the sealed pod system, that's my issue. It's fine because Brad, refilled the tank, and other people refilled the tank. The Plumes of Hazard guys refilled the tank. The point is, you're not supposed to.
Yeah, you're not supposed to. No. But what we're talking about is why are hobbyist vapers even interested?
Because
that was the point that Rich. That was the point that Rich.
Yeah, it was. Sorry. Yeah, and there was exactly, you made exactly the same point as I did, which is that people, it's the thing to be. It's a thing to have. It's not that it's any good. It's shit. I mean, it's not. So it's ridiculous to debate it. The JUULy is.
It's not going to replace
anything. It's the
key that they've necessarily got. Maybe he's in a very small percentage. I know Josh, for instance, Roberts. He's a big fan of closed systems.
He's a fucking idiot.
He's a lovely lad. Knock it off. But the vast majority of people will not replace their existing gear. But it is something to have in your top pocket, in your bag, to use as a stealth vape, to use with your high. That is the reason why we're talking about it now, and why it appeals to everybody. Granted, it's aimed at new starters, but people who are the hobby side, which is the people who we're talking about, they will buy closed systems, and we've all had closed systems. We all buy them, and it's because the work in conjunction with what we've already got, and that's why we're looking at it, and that's why we're talking about it, in my opinion.
When I've got a closed system, I promise the only reason I ever do it is for this. I wouldn't buy it at all for anything. I only ever do it for the show. Happy to, and if they've got some in the Vaping Emporium, Ipswich, Felixstowe, and Colchester, I'll ask the big boss man what I can have one for. But
obviously, you're totally in the minority, because the vast majority of people aren't presenters on the ideal option, are they?
But I do that.
You see them regularly on SV, not so much on UKS, because UKS is a thing. But you see them on the high end groups. People buy them. Granted, the majority slate them. However, some people like them, and they have got their place in vaping, regardless of whether you're a new starter, a hobbyist, or just or somewhere in between.
I totally agree. Who's next? Just to get off JUUL.
Oh, let's have a look.
I can't even tell anymore because we JUULed.
I've got a bit. Oh,
Go
John.
with your POTV.
No, John, you were going to talk about the podcast.
Oh, I'm on. I did mention it last week, but I'm on the Vaby. I'm recording the vaguely vaping related podcast with Jimmy and Chandler on Sunday. I don't know when it's out. I don't know if any of you are in chat. If you're in chat, let me know. Let me know. But I'm recording it on Sunday. I'll be on the vaguely vaping related pre-Vape Fest podcast whenever that's out.
And they experimented with live podcasting in last week's edition.
Whoa, I don't know if they're doing that this time. Not sure.
They for the first half hour, they were live on their Facebook group, vaguely vaping related Facebook group. Okay. So they did a little bit of live on there, then they switched back. They said bye, switched back to their traditional style for the last hour or so. So, yeah, excellent, good times. Okay. And if you want to get ahead of the game on that, Mark Todd was on it just the other week, and that
Mark Todd's been on it. Rick's been on it. You've been on it. I've been on it once at a show.
Yep.
Quickly.
Yep. So yeah, a good podcast. Check it out.
Yeah, definitely. If you get any of the podcast things, any of the podcast feed things on your phone, just type in vaguely vaping related podcast, and you'll get it. Fuck. Sorry, Richard. I think you're POTV.
Okay, so yes, so I found a little story on Planet of the Vapes. I'll just pull it up. Oh, you've got it, Rick. Superb. Yeah. So yes, so a little story on Planet of the Vapes. This was and is some research carried out by a Belgian research company looking specifically at high temperature vaping. So presumably high wattage vaping, and if it was more harmful, that there has been a theory for a little while now, since the release of the DNA 40, to be honest, which came with temperature control, that we're exposing ourselves to more harmful, potentially more harmful elements by raising the temperature on our vape. And this Belgian company do not believe that is the case after their research.
That's good.
Yeah,
Good news.
it's interesting. I think, like a lot of research in this field, you can pick holes in it. It's a very interesting article on Planet of the Vapes. Oh, doing a brilliant job with their vaping news, actually. Big shout out to them. If you want to read the full article, go to Planet of the Vapes, their news section. Yeah, it is very interesting. They literally did perform the tests in real world conditions and couldn't find any additional harmful chemicals being released when they remained within the parameters. So a very wicked, a very wicked.
We knew this anyway, didn't we?
Yeah, but it was
when the airflow is the correct amount for that power.
I think Richard used the exact correct word on the introduction, which was the potential. That it was never claimed that there was a few things that did about formaldehyde, but the rest of the time it was about potential harm and about harm, and they were talking about harm reductions.
There's some huge articles from about 18 months ago. That
Richard, can you take off the Rick's presenting?
Done it.
Oh, he's got it off.
Okay, so there's some huge articles about 18 months ago that literally went into the very specifics about coil placement in relation to airflow and how that affected the ultimate temperature that you were inhaling and all that sort of stuff. I don't want to go down the heat flux road, but a lot of those articles were adamant that you were potentially opening yourself up to.
I did. They were enjoyable when people actually thought you were inhaling 500 degrees and stuff. You're like, well, you're not, because you couldn't. It'd be like being in a forest fire.
Yeah, I mean that temperature has always literally been the temperature of the wire, hasn't it? But yeah, I think that's a completely different angle of research, and actually a very interesting read if anyone wants to pop over there. And it looks like, as long as you're vaping appropriately at high wattage, it seems to be, according to them, no more harmful. Which I've got to agree. Purely anecdotally, I agree with that. I think if you've got the right airflow for high wattage, if you've got the right juice for high wattage, the right coil, then
if it's palatable, if you're able to vape it, it's not harmful.
The exact answer. Yeah.
If you're having to dry it and you're coughing your lungs up, there's something bad going in there. Yeah,
I think so. I think that's it. Yeah. So that is that one. It's James, but he's popped it off. So John, Bloomberg. Vaping industry decries Trump.
Yeah, we're there. Oh, that was good. Well, this actually came out on the same day we did the show last week, but I've not seen it anywhere, so I quite fancied it. So the headline on Bloomberg, fucking piss off. Sorry, every time I open new stuff, I obviously get hit with all the cookies and stuff and sound in my ear as well. Vaping industry decries Trump's tariffs targeting e-cigarettes, which is not even something I thought about, the trade tariffs that Trump has been imposing. Oh, it's kind of worth it because it's quite funny. Brian Robbins smoked for 35 years before vaping helped him quit and prompted him to ditch driving trucks for selling e-cigarettes, first at flea markets and then at his own retail shops in Mississippi. The 52-year-old is a Donald Trump supporter, so obviously some sort of disability, who agrees with the president's efforts to crack down on China's trade practices. But it's hitting close to home. The next round of proposed duties, 25% on $16 billion worth of Chinese imports that could go into effect in a month, includes vaping devices. As we know, most e-cigarettes are made in China, leaving Robbins and his peers without an alternative. And I thought, that's quite interesting. Just to knock back to just a quick callback, the tariffs would also affect device makers like JUUL Labs Inc., by far the hottest brands. JUUL recently received $650 million out of a funding round expected to reach $1.2 billion. A deal set to value the business at around $15 billion. They make the JUULs made in China, and I'm getting an ad in my ear due to this barking thing. But I thought that was quite interesting. But it brought it back in. You know, it brought the tariffs close to home. Well, in America, they're going to be paying a little bit more if Trump's tariffs. I think it's very likely they're going to, unless he comes to some sort of resolution with China.
Yeah.
That was it. It's not really debatable, but I thought it was something to talk about.
Yeah, we always like a dig at Trump if we can have it.
It's not the first time. It's not the first time this has come up, actually. There's been a few mutterings in previous American governments, actually, just about changing the import rules from China to America.
Mainly their thing is about getting American aluminium industry back up and going, isn't it? Currently, people are getting lots of aluminium from China because it's a lot cheaper.
Yep.
And they seem to think they should stop that happening. So everybody in America has to pay more, and everybody who they export to has to pay more for products because they don't get cheaper aluminium.
As far as I remember the trade tariffs being an issue since Bush Jr. Because there is a massive difference between imports and exports between the two countries. It's been and Chinese imports have been growing year on year, and Americans have been decreasing. The exports to China have been decreasing.
Well, it's clear why China is doing better. Is they're not tied up in bureaucracy and taxes that our free countries are, you know.
And, copyrights.
Yeah. Well, no, just the bureaucracy and
that wasn't a joke. That's totally true. It's like
and the minimum wage in China does help.
Yeah, but there's sanctions on all EU countries. There's sanctions on America, and China. Don't let that stop good business.
I think it's great. I like doing business with China. It's a free market. You can get good prices on stuff that's as good as from anywhere else.
But the effects will be felt if they release any kind of additional import duty.
They're going to.
In the States, it will, yeah.
Yeah, on American vaping, the effects will be felt on American vaping if they legislate against Chinese vape products being imported. Obviously, it won't be specific to vaping; it'll just be a general blanket thing. But it will affect vaping big time in America.
Has anybody got a dollar idea, Richard? I don't know. Have you got an idea on $50? What you're talking? What kind of revenues would
the crazy one 18 months ago that was raised was 14%.
Right, so we're talking $57 on the 50.
But it never happened. Yeah, but it never happened. So I don't know. I guess you can't stop that. China will still be the correct place to produce those things. The price will just go up.
It's not about it's about industry rather than an individual buying a Chinese Squonker from Fast Tech.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's not really going to affect. It's cheap as chips anyway. What's a few extra dollars on something? It's about big industry, really. It's about China. Hello.
Yeah.
So we'll have to wait and see.
That was me. Sorry, guys. I was going through a website with that detail on it, and a stupid fucking advert pricked up.
You should have seen how professional I was when I was reading that fucking article. There was some woman in my head talking about a soft drink.
But
you should really try this soft drink. It's really fruity.
Tariffs that Richard spoke about. The proposed tariff is from the 6th of next month, and it's 25%.
Oh fuck! Okay.
But how realistic is that for them to push through something so fast?
He's done it before. I would go back to the website, but it's just going to fucking beep at me.
Right. I think, Rich, we're on to you, aren't we? American Cancer Society.
Yeah, very, very quick thing. Quite quite a landmark thing for America. But I don't have any images or anything. It's all very straightforward. Yeah, the American Cancer Society has officially come out in support of e-cigarettes and vaping as a healthier alternative to smoking. They were never officially for or against it, and much to the massive surprise of all the governance in America, they've suddenly come out and officially endorsed it as an alternative as an alternative option to smoking, and it's really thrown everyone off. But it's a really positive thing for America. It's the way we've always sort of used the Royal College of Physicians and their endorsement in the UK. Whenever we're talking about these things, we always mention them because they were very quick to endorse it. America now don't have to use the Royal College of Physicians. They can literally use the American Cancer Association to back their claims now. So no effects will be felt straight away, but that's a very solid reference point for America now that they can state that.
I thought it was quite good that they went in line with the Cancer Research UK. To be honest, because we know Cancer Research UK said something very similar at the end of last year, and I think it's great that they're all singing off the same hymn sheet.
Yeah, I think it's good. I think it's really good. So yeah, so I just want to mention it just because, like I say, the effects of that won't be kind of seen straight away, but I do think it's a very solid thing for them going forwards that they can reference that. So I think that will turn out to be very useful for them. Yep, so that's that. It says, John, Carrie reaches her peak.
That is absolutely true. I'm going to flick back to the thing. As some of you people will remember, you should all be a member of the Facebook group anyway. It's www.facebook.com, and then you want to search the Idea Name Show and then be a member of the group. But we did a raffle, months ago, absolutely months ago. And we did a raffle on behalf of Carrie, who is the sister of Ian Schwa, who is an avid member. I'd call him a stalker, to be fair, of the group and watcher of the show. But he told me all about his sister, who she'd had breast cancer in the past, and she was taking on a challenge of walking 64 kilometers in 4 days, climbing 2,200 meters. I'm doing a lot of things at the same time. Up the mountains in Transylvania, and so we held a raffle and we did that. We raised enough money for her so that she had the sponsorship to go to Transylvania. That's not true. At the time, that's what we did. We took her over her target amount so she could concentrate on training to walk up the mountain in Transylvania. And at the same time, there was enough spare to sponsor a complete stranger to do the London Marathon just because we thought it was quite funny. It was funny.
Yeah, we're really proud of you, Carrie. If you watch this at a later date, you know, we're 100% behind you.
Yes, hashtag Team Boobs. It was, yeah.
Yeah, it's no small feat either.
Climbing 2,000 meters is no small feat. It's not like walking 2 kilometers in a straight line.
Yeah,
you're going like this. That's probably 20 kilometers.
It's seriously impressive. Yeah, and the only thing that's been running through my mind since she announced she was doing it was, I sincerely hope she found Dracula somewhere.
Yeah. Who the fuck goes somebody to nibble on her neck while she's up there? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bit of a perk, haven't you, while you're there, you know.
Right. I'm with John. Congrats, Kerry and the legend.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's such an awesome thing. That is such an awesome thing. There's no way.
I think the number one, really, really, absolutely incredibly proud of Carrie for doing it and taking a water bottle up with her with an Ideal Home Show vinyl on it, which is just fucking awesome. But also number two is being proud of the group and to say thank you to the group, because look what you did and look how you can change people's lives when the funds are directed laser light in that way. It makes a massive difference to people, and these things are only worth organising because the impact you can make and the fact that you all join in. That's enough of
Stuff.
Very last wrap-up thing, while we're just mentioning random stuff, I was on Dean's show on Monday night. He does a regular live Monday night show. And yeah, I was on the Vaping Bikers Monday Night Live. So if anyone missed that for whatever reason, check it out. It's usually Mark Todd. It is better with Mark Todd, but it just happened to be me this week. So I thought I would mention it. And we're moving on to our hot topic.
Oh, what is that? I didn't even check. I did check.
Who was the architect of the hot topic this week?
I haven't put those in now. I didn't put any of those.
James.
Must have been James, whose internet's bombed out. Yeah. So we'll with no idea.
We'll just say them and we'll quickly throw it out there for us all to debate. Reporting on Facebook. What's that? I suppose that's a post and somebody reporting it.
That is, yeah. I think James had got the. I know Frank Higgins got banned from Facebook for 3 days because someone had reported a picture he'd posted on Facebook, which I think I'm all right saying it was a fish with tits, and somebody.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah.
Somebody reported that picture, and the way Facebook works. He was banned from posting for 3 days, and as an admin, that makes your life bloody hard. And I think the point was, if something pops up that's not really, something that you'd normally expect to see on a group, or you find it offensive, do click the drop down. If you're not happy with it for some reason, click the drop down and put report to admins. Don't put report to Facebook, because it's detrimental to the group, and it really is. And if you get lots and lots of report to Facebooks on a group, I will say Facebook will take the group out completely. They will do that if you get enough. I mean, I am talking a lot, and that it's probably an exaggeration, but don't do it, because
the bottom line, we don't know the effect it has on the group, whether they would kick it off, but there's a chance they'll probably pay a bit more attention to it.
Yeah, and the other thing is just reports to the admin. That's what the admin are there for, and that does happen on well-controlled groups. Things don't get reported to admin very often, but certain things, if there's somebody's posted some garbage, it's handy when somebody puts report to admin, because you can instantly check. Oh, what's that? Oh, okay, and bin them and bin the post. And most admin on the groups you lot are on are responsible adults, and they know what's all right. Yeah, and I don't think a fish with tits is that bad.
No, but you could take it another way as a warning, a little reminder for everyone. Maybe be slightly more careful about what they post on Facebook.
If you post, I probably. Richard, I will find the picture to show you what it was, which is not. It wasn't in any way.
I totally agree with that. However, it is someone else's platform. They can govern it how they wish, and if you don't want to have to be not on it for a week or 3 days, then do remember that when posting. I guess.
Yeah, I
totally agree that it's in no way. It's a non-thing that he got done for. I totally agree with that, but I guess it's worth.
I think it was a bit, but I think it's in a vaping group. It's a bit of a pain in the arse because everybody's over 18.
Well, yeah, but Yeah, 100%. But you're not free from Facebook rules when you're in a
No.
group. And I totally sympathise. But I get it's definitely a bit of take home there, isn't there? That if you don't want to have that happen, then maybe be a bit more careful about what you post, I guess. Even though I totally think it is silly. It is a silly thing to.
I just think the general public, and that might be a little bit too harsh, but the type of person who's reporting it needs to have a teaspoon of cement and harden the fuck up, princess. It was a fish with tits, for Christ.
It's probably, you know, it's probably not because of the fish with tits. It's probably somebody who just doesn't like Frank.
Yeah, absolutely. No one will have been offended by that.
But in order for Facebook to ban you or for 3 days, it can't just be one report. Several people have reported that one post. And you think of the amount of shit that I see on a daily basis that is grotesque and violent, and it's dogs, and it's this.
I'd never see any of that.
Just going on in Africa. Just fucking block the cunt.
Yeah, it's a funny one. It is a funny one.
The next debate one, I don't even know what that means.
Yeah.
Battery sizes.
Yeah. Okay. So let's skip over that because the next one makes total sense. James wrote, has China nailed squonking? And that is a very complicated question because I do have the Basium from Dovpo out of China, and the Rage from Desire out of China. And these are both very good squonkers. They do follow the fundamentals.
We know the Basium is effectively a British design.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So we know they have nailed the fundamentals of squonking absolutely with these. However, like John just said, this is British designed, and this is American designed.
Yeah, don't really count.
Has a genuinely really good one come out without that consulting or without that?
You're gonna get a load of Pico lovers camping outside your house.
I think the Pico, this Wismet one, I'm miles away from review. Oh, I've gone all blurry. I'm miles away from reviewing it, but there are several fundamental squonking things that I'm not impressed with this. The closest one probably is the Pico or the Pico Squeeze 2.
Do you like the Pico? Do you like that one?
I liked it until I got a Basium, and then it didn't make sense at all. It's heavier, it's wider, it's a single cell. It's got a tiny screen here. The fire button is in a strange place, and it was very, very handy, very, very good. But then the Basium blew that away. The Rage is a very well put together mod as well. They haven't. I guess they haven't. They haven't. I don't know what you guys think. They haven't nailed it.
I think they've nailed it for the mainstream. It's accessible now, squonking for the mainstream. But again, I'm proud to say that they wouldn't be there without modders making squonkers.
And I think that's great. I think that's only a compliment. That's all I could take it as.
I'd still rather vape on this squonker than a Chinese one.
Yeah, I think you're on the money there. It's less about them having nailed it and more about them having progressed far enough in the last 2 years that they're on the money for the mainstream user, which is their target market. So
not just that, they've worked out the fuck ups and the trips by looking at other mods, which is I don't hold that against anybody at all. I think that's great. And Dean. And Dean working with a Chinese company to make the Basium, I think it's absolutely correct. I think the price point's absolutely fantastic, and you couldn't deliver that. You couldn't deliver that in the UK for the same price. You just couldn't. It's a stupid argument. It would be pointless.
Yep. I think as Rick says, they owe a lot to the high end. I did a D Pro video D-Pro Mini video this week, and it wasn't a review as such because I was so late to that party. But one of my main points in that was that, yes, it is as good as the Karma, the Hadley, the Nada, all these things. It does vape exactly like that, and it is really, really good. But the D-Pro Mini owes itself to, it wouldn't not exist without all those RDAs. So
yeah,
that was
they're all Nada clones, aren't they? Really, not clones.
not close, but
in
yeah,
the same.
Nada inspired.
Yeah, that's fine.
absolutely.
Yeah,
And I think on that note, I think we all agree on that, really.
yeah, I think so.
Are we into?
No, we're running out of time. I'll save that for next time.
Let's do that. Let's do more showcase and troll of the week. That's a nice way to sign it.
We'll end.
Okay, and if you insist.
Everyone can whistle it better than me.
There we go. You know what that means. It's that music. Music you'll love to hate or love. I love it.
I love it.
Yeah, I love it. And that must mean it's time for Mod Showcase of the Week. I've got 3 mods to show you this week. Am I presenting already? Oh, my God. Straight away. I haven't got any control, but there you go. Craig Nichols. Our friend Craig. We love you, Craig.
We love Craig.
Yeah.
Oh, a quick just shout out to Craig.
Condolences as well, Craig,
Yeah,
by the way.
perfect.
For your loss and Claire's loss. We love you. We love you, Claire. Big hugs for you at Fest when we see you.
Then it's kind of in the middle with Fest because they're not really sure how everything's going to pan out. If he makes it Fest, obviously big hugs, and I'm sure everyone pass on their condolences. And really, that's an awful player and great.
But he's been keeping busy anyway. He's been keeping busy, and he made this, and I thought this is worthy of showing because he's done a blooming good job of it, I think. So Craig has made a mod. Nice stab wood. It's got a click fet in there, and
I can't see it.
Can't you? It says I'm presenting to everyone.
Yeah, I've not got
You're
your
showing your
It's
screen
your
now.
face, not the picture.
Oh, hang on, let's do that then.
Hey, that's it. Lovely.
So Craig made a mod. He made a mod, and it's lovely. And I think it's definitely worth sharing. And let's
What
look
a
at these.
piece of wood. That's incredible.
Yeah, it's all different chunks with resin in it
Yeah.
to bind it all together.
Wow.
But no, I like it. I mean, it's decent. He's got a nice polish on it. It's
It looks comfy.
yeah, I think it's good to see Craig making something. He's been covering Picos for quite a while now. It's good to see him get
A
something.
massive button on it, but I no complaints. I mean, it's funky as well.
No, that's a faceplate on it. Look, that's a faceplate. That's the button in the middle.
Oh, right,
So
right.
It's
In the centre.
it's a little bit similar to Bonner's original.
Yeah, it's just a plate to hide the fet.
And what size battery has he got in that?
I think it's just an 18650 actually.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it's big, but it's still a nice mod, I think.
Whatever.
It's a crazy
Nothing
big
wrong with
wood.
big. Hey, James
Hey,
Stack. James Stack.
There he is.
Hey.
Hello.
And
Hello,
next,
I'm back. I'm sorry. I've got a wired connection now. I'm no longer wireless. I am old school. Sorry to interrupt. Mod Showcase. Look, I say. Look, that's. I've seen that one.
that's Craig's. Yeah, Craig Nichols made that. And yeah, good on you, Craig.
Yep, I've seen it. Sorry. Okay.
Next up, I've only got one picture of this mod, but another mod that came up, another guy that's made. His name's Danny Tressida, and he made this mod this week. There's only one picture, but I thought that was nice.
Oh, that's nice.
That is nice.
It's honest, isn't it? It's decent. It's honest. It's pretty high end, I think.
The bottle goes there. The bottle
That's
goes
a-
there. Right?
Yeah,
Is
yeah,
that a burr of? That's a burr of some sort, isn't it?
yeah. It is. Yeah, yeah.
It's lovely.
Is it Ryan Dahl that's just done a similar shape?
Ryan doesn't really make mods now, does he?
So he's accessories man now, isn't he? He's taken a whole lot of accessories to Vape Fest, I believe.
Someone's just done one that's a bit similar shape. It's a very good shape.
I don't know. It's quite a well-known shape. But no, there's only the one picture of that, but that's Danny Tressida. So
That's lovely.
very nice. And finally, Robert Constantinidis.
Oh, it's nice bubbles, James. Bubbles.
Do you know him?
Yeah, we know Bob.
All right.
We know
Well,
bubbles.
he's put up, we've only got 2 pictures, but he made this.
Yeah, yeah. You saw I did. We did it ages ago before it had the buttons and everything in it. Bubbles is a Portsmouth chap who's originally from Greece. Who's very lovable and is a restaurant manager. That's his main job, and he's been working on mods for a few years.
We
We
on
love
that
Bubbles.
mod for a few years.
Yeah, that exactly.
That's I love that.
I love that too.
That is
It's
gorgeous.
and a nice
Oh,
thing
you're
with the
right.
battery tube there is.
Bubbles
It's a cool
is
looking
Bubbles is
tube.
at Vape Fest. Mr. Robert Bubbles.
Oh, good.
He'll be at Vape Fest.
That's stunning. I love that.
I thought that's just a nice, unique, honest mod, and I thought it was worth showing that. Definitely, it's unique, isn't it? It's nice.
Gorgeous.
I like it. That is it. That's all I have for you this week.
Well, I think we need to jam in Triumph Guitar Bar because James' his internet's back.
Come on, let's do super duper super speedy.
We're going to do a speed Travava.
Have you got it, Rick?
Let's whiz through
How
it.
come your background has changed, James? I like it, but it's changed.
Because my wire is only so long.
Oh, okay. I'm just going to shut my face.
Right then, are we going to do speed Travava?
Got some awesome ones this week. Absolutely. And I just like for any new viewers, if we have any new viewers, try Vitava. It's things that remind you of vaping that aren't really vaping at all. I missed a button out there, didn't I? I missed a button. So what you might see something you go, oh, that looks a bit like vaping, but that's a mod, that's a thing. For our new viewers, because I know we're getting new viewers all the time. Remember, like and subscribe.
That is our most asked question on iOS. Is what the fuck does that mean?
It is. The amount of people who don't watch the show is shocking.
Right, let's zoom through it, shall we?
Come on, really, really quick, really, like the fastest one I've ever done.
There we go.
This is from Bob. Is this Bob?
Bob, yeah.
Yeah, Bob. We saw this. And his caption was, "I saw this. It reminds us of it, but I put it on here."
Bob's actually got the best one this week. I hope you've got it. It was fucking good.
That's all right. Next one.
Bob Clark.
Oh,
that was Bob's.
That's amazing.
Oh, look, yes.
That
his
is
caption
fucking
was,
amazing.
It sounds the
What
same.
boner.
It's got Bonner. Next one.
Love
Carl Hugh.
Cloud
it.
nine.
Cloud9.
Mine. Yep.
It's reaching.
What is it? Most
Cloud9.
But we did have loads of new people going. This is my tentative first post on the Triumph Guitar.
There were some good first posts. There was some
Yeah, they were.
shit.
But we're late in the player.
Oh, 0 milligram again.
I got the 0MG again.
But also, you know, it might be a flavour in the beaver anal juice might be a flavour in many juices. I did a bit of googling. The raspberry flavour, it's more used in vanilla. It's not a lot. There's not a lot. It's like 20 litres a year or something.
Yeah, I was going to say it's a load of old balls, and it's in perfume more than anything else.
It is in a lot of perfumes. Yeah. Okay, next one.
Not vaping.
Wouldn't stop me.
Kieran McBride.
In a little curio shop by looks
I didn't hate it. I thought it was all right. I don't know what it is. What it actually
Oh,
is.
it's a flask, is it?
Flask, yeah.
Oh.
It's difficult to see the size of what's them. I mean, are they massive? Are they
There's shoes next to it there, isn't there? They're huge then.
But I mean, they could be tiny shoes. They could be the tiny shoes of a tiny Victorian person.
Ah, okay, we've got so I see what you're saying. That's
Right.
it's not a hip flask if it doesn't fit on your hip.
That was a good one.
This is
Craig
a brilliant
Licking
one.
Bottom.
I've not got any other internet, so I don't know who did the. I haven't got the name, so but that was a brilliant one. I love that one.
I like that. Number 7.
Both them. Sorry,
Well, both of them, yes.
I said Craig Licking Bottom.
But look, if you say, I've just noticed there's a big one and there's a little one. There's a mod size one.
There's a little one. Yeah, a little drip tip on there, isn't there?
I've only just noticed that. Lovely. Next one.
Very good. That Dave Owens.
We've seen them before. It's a big old coil of stuff. It's next one.
I can see why it reminded
I
him.
think that was reaching.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, it's not
That's
really
a good one. Look,
That was good.
got Nada written on it.
Absolutely. It's a double. I mean, it could be a rib for your
That
pleasure.
is a drip tip mod.
A rib
And
for
it
your
says
pleasure
Nada.
drip tip. And it's got Nada. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
I like
That's
it.
a good one.
Has anyone ever done a mech in that style?
No, but they should.
Would be very comfortable, would it?
Nah.
It's
I
only
like
50 watts as well. It's not very powerful, is it?
Heat dissipation, though.
There's loads to that one.
There's loads, really. There's Nada, there's 50 watts, it's a mech, it's an atomizer. It's
That is up there. That's probably the winner.
Yeah.
I like the Scott Bonner lawnmower, but now I'm up with this.
that's the one of the week so far, I think.
I like it a lot. I like it a lot. Next one.
Derry Murphy.
Spring Grove.
Spring Grove.
Spring Grove. Is that
Spring Grove
good?
time?
It was you. It was you.
Me?
Next one.
Thank you very much, Derry Murphy. I resemble a bin. Dry burn and wick.
We've got dry burn. Good. Let's go. That was from. Is that from Fizz?
Here's, yeah.
Yeah.
Not
Next one.
bad.
Next one.
Gavin Wookie.
A first one.
Yeah.
This is his cherry.
I'm going to see it, Gav, next week. Now, after Festies down in Cornwall.
Yeah, it works, I guess. It's like a tool. It's like a coil master kit, isn't it?
It could be a mod, an ATI, some coils, a little building stand. It could be all sorts.
We'll go with that. That's a coil master set. Yeah.
It's a wheel nut remover, right?
Oh. There we go. Chandler.
I think we might have seen this before, James.
I think I wasn't sure if it was the same building. What is the big water cooler on top of the building? Is that just
It's a viewing. I think it's like a viewing kind of platform.
No, it's penthouses.
That's the penthouse suite.
Oh, that's cushy.
The usual deal for architects at that level is, apart from some cash incentive, they actually do get a penthouse suite
Oh, nice.
to own, and so they always put a little bit of extra effort in for the penthouses.
Oh, very good, very good. You see, I'm not that posh, Richard.
Nice.
Just never a posh.
There's levels. There's levels to this game.
Ginny Parker.
This is from Jimmy. Yeah, this is from Jimmy. It's not bad.
It's not bad. It's a steampunk mod. It's fine.
Cigarette case DIY. What's the DIY bit? Oh, how to make it.
Yeah, probably. Jimmy, you need to work about how to cut a picture properly. That's shit.
Yeah.
Next one.
What has he been?
Kevin
watching?
Watts. Mahmood.
It's more mods. It's Mahmood. It's probably one of the most common names in the entire world.
Shift on.
But it's from I quite like this series, Young Sheldon. And did you know that Young Sheldon's grandma on the left there is Janine from Ghostbusters?
Oh, good fact.
Now
Good
you've
fact,
said
man.
it.
The
Now
fact
you've said
was better than the Tribe
That's the main reason that's in there, Kev. I'm sorry. Next one.
Skin ski.
Lovely.
This is a good one. I've got no idea what it is. Engraven tools. Right, I say engraven tools. Oh, it's probably massive then, isn't it? That's probably quite big.
Yeah. Well, that's a ring, normal ring. So, yeah.
A ring, a finger ring, right? Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, looks cool. Nice one, Moxie.
That's a really good one.
Does look like one.
Next one.
Martin Vickery.
Oh, it's Vickery's first one. He's popped his cherry.
Do you know what? But he kind of fucked up because somebody pointed out something which is better than the normal. Like if you're looking at it and you think, oh, that's atomizers. But then if you think of the Hammer mod by who the fuck is it?
This one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one he's got. It's very. It's the kit or Hammer mod, isn't it?
Kato Hammer. Perfect. Yeah, absolutely.
Very good.
Very, very good indeed. Next one.
Bazza.
Sector 18650.
Oh, that.
He sort of reminded him of it, but he was watching some cartoons and he just.
That's the reach of the week.
As much as this is a reach, I did read that and think that genuinely could be the name of a mod that comes up.
Terracon Prime. Yeah, it could be.
Terracon Prime.
We should just make that the thumbnail of this week's show.
Yeah, we should actually. I will. I'll do
Nice.
that.
Next one.
This is from me.
No, oh, this is from me. Sorry, it's not from you. It's from me. This just popped up in, and I thought it was a little. Someone was selling.
Oh, there's little coil jars, aren't they, in there?
It's got a little message in there. But when I first saw it, I thought that was an airflow hole, and that was a drip tip on the top. And maybe I need to stop looking at things on my phone. But also, look,
Yeah, it looks like a 14 milli.
Yeah, 14 million. Yeah.
Yeah.
But how much does she like wine? Look how much she likes wine.
Yeah, she likes wine a lot, doesn't she? Look, and
Wine.
Or
she's a chef. She's a chef. Look, she's got her chef shoes on.
it could be Bez.
Or a skater.
It could be Ad Maraca here.
She's a mod.
I like wine.
Yeah.
Next one.
This is me.
This is you.
That was very funny.
Yeah,
I don't think it's
reminded me
great.
of that juice. There's a juice in there.
Fantasia.
I thought this was more social commentary than.
I think it was more social commentary, but yeah, Fantasia.
Yeah, it looked like the Fantasia logo.
Yeah, you
It
know.
does because they picked it.
Next one.
Richard Jack. Interesting, this one. Yeah, that is a fancy silly coil, isn't it? That's one of those. Coil art.
Yeah, I had to check that guy's Instagram to make sure he wasn't making coils because I was like, but he doesn't. It's just jewelry.
Yeah, I thought that was
Really?
a coil when I first looked at it, thinking that is just ridiculous, but it looks pretty.
It's just
very.
he doesn't make
Geiger-esque,
coils.
Do you think it's Geiger-esque? I think it's Geiger-esque.
Very
He just makes fuck ugly jewelry. Definitely doesn't make
That's
coils.
not. That's nice in a sort of alien way, isn't it?
Get one for Annie, and we'll see if let's see the judge on whether that is fuck ugly
It's not
jewelry.
her cup of tea, but you know. Ross Jenkins.
Adidas. You know, it wouldn't surprise us. It wouldn't surprise us if Adidas or somebody pretended. I see Gucci is. That was going to be. I remember mentioning in the news. Gucci is suing vape people this week for using Gucci on their on the mods and batteries or whatever. I don't know. Gucci, and they're not.
Oh right, okay, yeah, like Gucci wraps.
Yeah.
Come on, Gucci wraps. There's one of the modders.
That is actually Brad's stage name, Gucci Rap.
Yeah, pretty much.
Ross Blair.
That's meant to be a secret.
Oh, is it good?
Yeah, that works.
Do you know what
Travel didgeridoo?
Yeah,
I've
I
never
liked
even
it
heard of
more.
a travel didgeridoo. I thought. I presume that's just tubes in there, just up and down, and then up and then down, and then.
Yeah, that's legit. You can create that effect. You don't need such a long.
It does look like a mod.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Next one.
Sam Newitt.
I like the idea that someone didgeridoo players going on holiday and they thought, I can't go on holiday and not didgeridoo. I need to travel didgeridoo.
So when you got to dig, you got to dig. That's what they say.
What we got here?
I
Vaping
didn't even get this.
horses.
Oh,
Vaping
clown.
horses.
It's horse, but he's blown vapor out there, isn't he?
Yeah.
A little bit of culture.
Yeah, that's reaching.
Next one.
The Saint Sawyer of Simon of Sawyers.
This has got a few little bits in there. It's got Nick in there. It's got Big G in there. It's got what could potentially be Angsty in there. It's got a
Oh,
B.
come on.
Does it like
Craig.
Craig, yeah.
Craig on the left.
Yeah.
Not only is it Craig, but it's Rick with hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Did you have a curly bracket when you were when you had hair? Rick?
Yeah, it was not too curly though. It's all more wavy than anything.
And then there's the morning after. What was the mod that them mods called? The morning.
Oh, morning. Yeah.
Oh, the Friday morning. The Friday.
Friday morning.
The
Yeah,
Friday,
yeah.
I can't remember.
That would be the morning after the iOS. Look at that. Morning after.
And last one,
Next one. Okay. Then.
Stuart Drummond.
Cloud9. He was in Blackpool or somewhere. That wasn't he? The hotel in Blackpool. That was where he
Classy place. Look, classy place. That's the budget. That's the budget's room there.
I like
That's right.
the AstroTurf in the front. That's
Oh,
kind
it's
of curling
peeling
up.
up. Look.
Yeah, I liked it.
That's the AstroTurf. That's crazy golf in there. That's just...
I do like real pictures though.
Me too. Me too. Genuine, bona fide triumph Batalvars. Lovely. Lovely.
Brilliant. Very good try of a Tarvar this week.
Do you want me to do my thing?
Go on.
Yeah, do it. Do 12 a week.
Right,
I'm
very
gonna
quickly.
go on.
Very quickly.
I haven't got your images for that though.
No, don't worry.
He's pro. He's got it.
Right. Here's the first one. We're continuing our campaign to find the ultimate photo bomb this week. This is the first one. Now you guys have mentioned the possibility of Photoshop. It's been playing on my mind, and I don't know.
No, that's not Photoshop.
I don't know what is and what isn't anymore.
I don't
No,
think that's
that's
the
not.
fact.
He
What
really
about this one then?
Yeah, okay, that is
That's
definitely
really real. Because that person's running. That's a real shark.
That is nice. Fuck off.
I don't think the shark is photoshopped. I think the person is photoshopped, just to be different.
Yeah, no.
I don't know. I don't know if they needed the purple arrow.
The arrow definitely not some weird cloud formation.
Yeah, I
you
don't know,
can't see.
that must have been photoshopped onto that arrow because you don't see many of them flying around the beach.
But what you don't know.
Might be an umbrella, like could be an umbrella, could be a beach umbrella.
No,
So
I reckon that picture is bigger, and it isn't that the arrow is pointing at the shark. It's so you can identify the shark. And if you actually went out, it's just madly cropped. It just says Leonard. Like, just that's Leonard. Just jumping in there.
There's too many questions with this picture.
It's definitely great white sharks.
Someone was worried we wouldn't notice the shark.
yeah, that's what I took from that big purple arrow, pink arrow.
Yeah,
I love it. And this one, I don't know if this one's appropriate for YouTube, but let's find out. If that's like, now you've confused me, but if that's real, I love it.
That is real.
of course it's real.
I would say that was definitely a dog because they're dirty bastards doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The dog just wants to play with the frisbee, though.
I know you can't win, can you? It's different rules in the dog
And he
game.
bent down to get the frisbee, and look what happened.
How do we know that the
It was
other one?
when I was in prison that time.
How do we know?
Well, in this weather,
I will say we're adding. It's a bit of conjecture really, because the back one maybe the front one's disabled and is leaning over to get it, and the other one's going, "I'm going to help you. I'm going to hold. Oh, don't worry,
Yeah,
I've got
the front one's got his legs stuck. He's going, "I'll pull you out. I'll
pull you out."
Yeah, we don't know. He might be saying, "Oh, give us that frisbee."
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
We don't. We'll never know for sure. And last one, I don't. Again, no idea. No idea if this is real. Also, this is not a very traditional Photoshop. Photobomb, I should
say that's photoshopped.
Yeah, I can say Photoshop.
I don't feel that seagull's not photobombing as such, is he? He's just on a rampage.
It's been posted in there. It's been
Has
pasted.
anybody seen the video of the guy who's on the theme park ride and gets hit in the face by a bird and kills it? It's cool.
Yeah,
It's
So,
good.
some more photobombs there. I just like them because there's so many questions can be posed with one simple image.
They certainly can.
So there we go, and that's been this week's car crash. Thank you for watching tonight's show.
We're not actually over time because we didn't actually start till 1:15, so we're actually.
We've actually done all right, really. Yeah,
we've done okay. We've produced 2 shows in one night.
Yeah,
that's not bad. Most people would quit on the first podcast.
We started on 141 and we finished on 142.
Yeah, I did change the number and everything.
Perfect. Right.
But actually, John, you should tell people about next week.
Oh, yeah. We're not here next week. We're going to have the week off because we're all got to travel to Shropshire and Shrewsbury to be at Vape Fest. Vape Fest. If you're going to be at Vape Fest, a few little things about the show and Vape Fest. If you want to come up and say hi, come up and say hi. I think Brad, very sadly, Brad can't make it as far as I know.
Yeah, unfortunately, I have had to cancel.
Unfortunately, Brad can't make it. I'll be on the Just Had Nick stand, and I'll do the raffle when the raffle comes up. Rick, Richard, and James are all going to be walking around all day. If you want to go up and approach them, do that. Do say your name, for fuck's sake. I'm only saying this because this is the show before the show. When you come and say hi, it's not it's not that likely they're going to know your name. So do remember to say your name, because you know theirs, but they don't know yours. But we're always happy for people to come and say hi.
I would be chuffed to bits if somebody comes and I'll be absolutely.
I definitely are going to, James. You just don't know yet.
This is your first show after being on the.
Go and say hi to James.
Definitely.
I don't know who's got vinyls. I can't.
No, lick it.
I'm gonna try and take some vinyls with me. I don't know who else has got vinyls. Anyone else who's got vinyls?
I haven't got any vinyls.
Have you got any?
No.
James, Richard.
I don't have any. I have some more vinyls. I might bring some more records for us.
I've got some battery wraps. I'm bringing some battery wraps to give us.
I've got some Simply Red in the van.
We'll have some battery. Just have Nick. We'll have some. We'll give you as many.
I've got some vinyl here. I've got some vinyl. Look, yeah.
Yeah, right. Anyway,
In
do
my
come up
absence, before you finish, John, before you finish, in my absence, I am going to run a raffle, which I have not had pre-approved by any of my other fellow members.
It's totally true. He has not.
And this raffle is called A Picture with James.
Hey, I like it.
I don't know what the fuck I'm going to give away, but I will. The first show after.
We'll find some stuff to give you.
I'll find some shit to
Oh,
give you.
definitely.
I will too.
That's a good game.
Probably just a cardboard box of fresh air, but I'll put up a thread in the group, and I want photos of you with James, hugging,
Perfect.
kissing him.
No. Because
No.
I will say I broke 2 ribs with this joke last time.
Okay.
Don't fucking do that.
Just a
Don't
normal picture.
Just
Don't
avoid
do that.
Daniel
Just
Muddy.
Get a
avoid Muddy,
just get a
James.
picture with
If
James.
you
It
hurt
wasn't Muddy
James, you
broke
will
me.
get nothing.
Don't break James because I've
Just
had
photos being friendly.
Okay, fine. Don't accost the poor man. Just take a photograph with him.
A normal picture.
Okay,
Good.
I think we're
Thank
done
you very
anyway.
much.
Like
Thank you
so,
very much.
as I said, we're not going to be here next week, but we will be back the week after. Thank you very much for watching. This has been the Ideal Home Show. It is hotter than the fucking sun. Have a brilliant week, and we'll see you at Vape Fest. See you not next Thursday, but the Thursday after. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.